We are going on a virtual tour this morning of Ontario's Black history. Travel writer Natalie Preddie joins us with more. Good morning again.
Good morning. Good to see you again.
Yes, just yesterday, if people missed it, and we have it up on our website, we talked to your parents about interracial families. And now we're going to talk more about Black history and the very rich history that we don't hear a lot about in schools and in history books, but it's all throughout Southern Ontario.
Oh yeah, Ontario is rich with Black history. So let's start off in Chatham. Now we know Chatham, Ontario was a haven for escaped slaves and for free Blacks in Ontario. So there was a very thriving Black community there. We are looking at arts and culture and medicine and sports and business. It was such a thriving community. And if you were to go there in person, you can actually take walks throughout Chatham to learn about this community. But right now, of course, you can look online and learn about Chatham and all the artifacts there from the 1790s onward. Now, there you can see the Buxton National Historical Site, and that was founded by abolitionist Reverend William King from England. It's located about 15 minutes south of Chatham. This was also a haven for fugitive slaves and free Blacks. And the virtual exhibits, you can learn lots about Reverend William King and also his settlement, which is called the Elgin Settlement as well. And you can see timelines and scrapbooks. And the one you're seeing there is actually the Amherstburg Freedom Museum. And that's about a 30-minute drive south of Windsor, which is really cool because it was an entry point for refugees into Canada. So there was a very big Black population from the 18th century and for free Blacks from the 19th century. And you'll actually see the Taylor log cabin there, which was the home of George Taylor. And he was an escaped slave from Kentucky in 1880. There you can see artifacts from former slaves, refugees, and from the Underground Railroad. So you can see timelines and everything there. And all month long, they have Black History Month Facebook Lives, they have education, and also support.
Because I can imagine that it would be distressing for a lot of people to go and see some of these exhibits, right? But we need to see them.
Absolutely. I mean, knowing more about our history gives us some idea of life in Southern Ontario as it was, how it has developed, and of course, the way it is now. And one of my favorites is actually Uncle Tom's Cabin, which is in Dresden. Now, we actually know that this was founded by Josiah Henson, who people say inspired Harriet Beecher Stowe's famous novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin. So this historic site is very, very cool. In 1841, we began to see sawmills, we saw churches, we saw schools. This was a really, really cool Black community in Southern Ontario and, in Dresden, and it was called the Dawn Settlement. And so if you go online here, you can see more exhibits about the Underground Railroad, about Josiah Henson himself. There you can see him and his wife, or, a representation of him and his wife in their home, which is still there, the cemetery where they're buried. And all of this is so integral to how Southern Ontario was built up, especially in the 19th century. So as you said, it can be tough to see and tough to learn about, but it is absolutely integral to our own culture and how we live today.
And so many of these museums, too, as you were mentioning, have great virtual things because, unfortunately, they're closed during the lockdown. And it's something that really we need to think about, not just in February, right? Not just in Black History Month, but all year long.
Absolutely. I mean, Black history is part of our everyday. It is part of it should be important all year round. We saw a fantastic Black Lives Matter movement come up this summer, and this is something we need to sustain. This is something we need to see, we need to look at, we need to support all year round. Black Lives Matter all year round, and not just one month the shortest month
Yes.
of the year. You know, we really need to understand how it is part of how Canada, how Ontario has grown and developed. And, you know, we've often think, you know, we are, you know, up here in Canada, north of the border, we often think that we're immune to a lot of the racism and the ignorance that we see down south, but it's not true. We're just a lot politer about it up here.
Right, right. So you've got lots of great information on your blog. So we'll get the link to that up at chch.com. Natalie, great to see you again.
And you, Annette, have a great Thursday. Happy Chip
You
Day.
too.